Hello, my name is Jane Willsie. I am a graduate student at the University of British Columbia in the Department of English Literature, and I am a volunteer with the Pacific Canada Heritage Centre Museum of Migration. Today I'm really excited to share with you some of the story of Patsy George. Thank you so much for listening.
Patsy George was born in India in the southwestern province of Kerala. She grew up as the eldest daughter in a large family, and her parents were both very outspoken and politically active at a time when India was struggling for independence from Britain, an event which finally occurred in 1947 when Patsy was 7 years old.
I grew up as a teenager, as a youngster, and as a teenager, hearing issues of freedom, independence, peace, rights of individuals, labor rights, all of those sort of what we would today consider issues that interest all of us. And so I think I was very fortunate to be not only in this particular family, but also at a time when there was a lot of activities that are going on. And so I was very much stimulated by what was happening around me. There was always discussion and debate in our household, in relation to what's happening and who should we trust, and so our dining room discussions were always politics.
That Patsy's parents were always advocating for their children's education, even over the dining room table. She tells me cemented in her from a very early age a belief in the importance of political involvement, the importance of human rights, and especially the rights of women.
I was very fortunate to have been not only growing up in this period in southern part of India, but also having had parents who really believed in rights of women and girls and the importance of education. That's where I think that some of my feminist ideology have come from early years,
Patsy left India in 1960 and moved to the United States to pursue her education.
Here I am, and I was the day I left. This was the photo the day I left.
Patsy already had a bachelor's degree in science from India, and it was her parents' intent that she pursue a career as a doctor. After 28 days aboard a boat, she arrived in New York City, in the middle of a snowstorm, without any boots.
It's something I'll remember,
Patsy only stayed about a year in the US. After an experience where she was told she could not sit in a movie theater section because she was not white, Patsy was almost on the brink of returning to India.
What bothered me more was the fact that my fellow students couldn't see how wrong that was.
It was the dean at Patsy's school, who had herself completed a degree in Canada, who persuaded Patsy to give it one more go and move to Canada. So she moved to Windsor and enrolled at the university there.
I'm so lucky that she talked me into it. I'm telling you, I'm so proud to be a Canadian, and I'm telling you what a difference it made in my life.
Patsy completed another bachelor's degree at Windsor, during which time she decided to abandon the goal of being a doctor and instead become a social worker. She completed a master's in social work in Ottawa and began what would turn out to be an illustrious career in social work that would take her from one end of Canada to the other.
I arrived in Vancouver on holiday after my graduation from a master's degree. There were 3 of us who drove across. And I arrived here in August of 66. And I want you to know, as soon as I got here, I felt so much at home. I really felt, my God, if I really believed in reincarnation, I would say to you, well, I bet you anything I was born here. And this is my second coming. I am back in Vancouver. It's the mountains and the ocean, the two together. Even though in Nova Scotia we had hills and the ocean, it was not the same. Here, it was just unbelievable. And so that that was in my head, someday I will come back here, you see.
Patsy eventually settled in Vancouver and has since had a remarkable impact on the city. She's represented Canada at the United Nations, was a founding member of the Vancouver Society of Immigrant Women, as well as the Stephen Lewis Foundation, the Pacific Immigrant Resources Society. She was an honorary witness for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and she served on the Immigrant Appeal Board, and the list continues. Throughout her career as a civil servant, however, Patsy never stopped being an activist, supporting community organizers and even marching with protesters against the government's actions.
They did a story on me. At ease in the trenches. That's more important, you see. There's another photo of me talking to people who are on strike.
Among many other awards, in 2002, Patsy was awarded the Order of British Columbia and the Order of Canada in 2006. She also received an honorary doctorate from UBC in 2018 and one from the University of the Simon Fraser Valley several years prior.
The reasons, of course, is for my community work. Particularly in this case, it has to do with the work that I did with the immigrant and refugee women, not only locally, but also nationally. This is my family when I got the Order of Canada in Ottawa. Here we are. That's Margaret Mitchell, and she was of course, there to congratulate me when I received the Order of Canada. There is there is the Silver Jubilee Medal. There is the Golden Jubilee Medal.
One of the most amazing things about Patsy is how, despite being retired, she continues to work for many volunteer organizations, such as Crossroads International, the Stephen Lewis Foundation, and the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom.
Even though I appreciate the fact that people are willing to say and sort of say, okay, you've done a good job, continue your work. And I mean, that's how I take it anyway. It's really a way of encouraging you to continue your convictions and your passion for social change. And so hopefully until my last day, I will continue to feel the same and use my energy in a way that's going to be of help to people and to make our communities more just and peaceful.